And that was a little later too, which I think is a natural thing, suddenly we've got lives.
Ringo Starr truly hated him more than anyone. Ringo Starr never walked into the Beatles as a fourth brother. He walked in as the replacement everyone thought was disposable. He smiled under the stage lights while headlines mocked him as the luckiest drummer alive, and insiders quietly questioned whether he truly belonged. Even inside the band, there were moments when he felt less like a partner and more like hired help. Decades later, the quiet Beatle has reflected on the names and moments he could never fully forget, and the truth is far more complicated than fans ever imagined. Ringo's story didn't begin at Abbey Road. It began in a hospital bed. Born Richard Starkey in wartime Liverpool, he spent much of his childhood battling serious illness, missing years of school, and falling behind other children his age. Those early struggles left him shy and deeply insecure. When he finally found the drums, they became more than an instrument. They became his identity. With Rory Storm and the Hurricanes, he built a reputation as a steady, dependable player. Not flashy, but solid. That reliability is exactly why the Beatles called him in 1962 to replace Pete Best. But his first major session came with a sting. During the recording of Love Me Do, producer George Martin brought in session drummer Andy White, unsure whether the new Beatle was strong enough. For a man already labeled the replacement, it reinforced his deepest fear, that he was optional. The press didn't help. Critics joked he was the least talented Beatle, lucky to stand behind Lennon and McCartney. After manager Brian Epstein died in 1967, the band's internal balance shifted. Paul McCartney stepped forward as the driving force, pushing the group to stay productive. His perfectionism elevated their music, but it also created tension. During the White Album sessions, Paul repeatedly asked Ringo to redo drum parts, even sitting behind the kit to demonstrate. For Ringo, it felt like history repeating itself. He briefly quit the band, walking away for nearly 2 weeks. The others eventually asked him back, decorating his drum kit with flowers as a peace offering. But the insecurity lingered. At the same time, John Lennon was changing. As his relationship with Yoko Ono deepened, the studio dynamic transformed. The once closed circle of 4 voices now felt different. Creative disagreements became personal. For Ringo, who valued harmony within the group, the emotional strain was enormous. Years later, he would recall visiting John in New York in 1980, sharing laughter like old times. Weeks later, John was gone, leaving many conversations unfinished forever. Then there was Alan Klein, the controversial manager brought in after Epstein's death. Promising financial stability, he quickly divided the group. Paul resisted him. John, George, and Ringo supported him. Lawsuits followed, and the fracture became permanent. By the early 1970s, even Ringo realized Klein had mishandled the band's affairs. The man hired to protect them had helped drive them further apart. And yet, time has a way of correcting narratives. The same Ringo once dismissed as lucky became recognized as the band's rhythmic anchor. Producers later admitted he was remarkably consistent, a human metronome with unmistakable feel. His drum parts on songs like Come Together and A Day in the Life proved deceptively complex. After the Beatles, his solo career produced genuine hits, and legendary artists continued calling him back, not out of nostalgia, but because of his groove. Even Paul McCartney, once the strict perfectionist in the studio, inducted Ringo into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as a solo artist. Today, their bond endures as the final living link to an era that changed music forever. Ringo Starr was never the weakest link. He was the heartbeat, the steady pulse that allowed 3 towering personalities to soar. Now that you've seen the full picture, whose role in Ringo's story stands out most to you? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoy honest, in-depth stories about the legends of classic rock, make sure to like this video and subscribe to Golden Age Chronicles. There are many more untold chapters waiting to be revealed.